Hey guys, long time no see. I know I've really slowed down on the TF2 content and I apologize for that. Judging by the view count, my TF2 stuff is the most popular content I produce. Most of you are probably here for TF2 videos. I mean, it's my avatar and banner, I don't blame you. Trust me, I've wanted to do more, but it's rare that I get footage that's up to my impossible standards. And when I do get a great round, it doesn't record properly. Lately I've been having desyncs. I don't know, I'll look into it. If you're a fan of my stuff, you may notice I've started this channel as a spy main, hence this, but the later videos strayed further away from spy. There's a good reason for that. See, I joined TF2 in 2009. I mained Soldier because of the war update, and continued to primarily play him for about 5 years. Then they broke the Bison, and I moved on to Spy. I randomly decided to pick Spy one day on Kong King, having very little experience with the class, but I performed rather well, so I stuck with it. Some time goes by, and then they break the Dead Ringer. So I thought, damn, every class I touch gets nerfed. What am I going to do? But then, the Heavy vs. Pyro update came. It didn't go well. But it gave me the opportunity to try out Heavy. Pyro has always been a bullshit, overpowered class, so I had to try to stop them from getting more weapons and buffs. While I didn't succeed, I did gain something from it. A new class. I'm well aware that to some, Heavy gameplay isn't as interesting as high-stakes Spy gameplay. I know. I'd rather be filming myself backstabbing pyros on Kong King all day every day, but it's a dead map. My accuracy took a dip ever since I got a new mouse, and I could never get the sensitivity quite right, and recording issues like I previously mentioned. So what's my point? Why am I telling you all this? Heavy mains are an endangered species. Move over Spy Crab is a new sheriff in town. I've been described as the god of heavies by friends, and accused of hacking by opponents. I'm not bragging, I'm just saying I think I have some experience and authority on this subject. So, inspired by Ankle Dan's engineering videos, I thought I should do some Heavy 101s. Buckle up and let's go. Heavy is a slow guy. He's slow to move and slow to fire. In this time, you can be caught and cut down before you have a chance to reach the front lines. Snipers are the natural predator of the Pootis bird, so what I'm about to say has two benefits. As a Heavy, you should always be jumping whenever possible. When moving, of course. Don't jump when you're standing around, don't be an idiot. Firstly, it makes you slightly harder to headshot, but more importantly, if you jump and rev your gun at the same time, you ignore the initial slowdown of revved movement. Ergo, you make more distance than you would have if you just walked forward and revved. This is also useful to avoid getting caught off guard by enemies around corners. Taking advantage of unsuspecting heavies is pretty much the only reason to use the Tomislav. With this secret knowledge, you'll be able to put down all of those posers and establish the stock minigun as the one true primary. Demoman might own a castle, but Heavy is the king of choke points. Despite being classified as a defense class, Heavy plays a much more versatile role in the game. See, Heavy makes for a good push coordinator, because the rest of the team can play around what he's doing while taking fire. Think of Heavy as a giant distraction. He's large, which makes him a tasty-looking target for scouts, spies, you name it. Say, for example, you're holding the point, but the enemy keeps bombarding you with reinforcements. If you were to move in there, you might get cut down. But because you are being the spy-checking sentry, you've freed up your teammates to move in and destroy their teleport. Team composition, ergo having the right balance of classes, is important, but communication and working together as one solid unit is just as valuable. You may not be a pursuit class, you may not be about damage output, but you have a purpose. Speaking of communication, one of the most important things Heavy has in his arsenal is the sandwich. You as a Heavy can heal teammates too. It's not just for medics anymore. I said medics, not waifus. Get the hell out. You can stay. If you just throw a sandwich randomly, your target probably won't even see it. Worse yet, enemy might pick it up. That's a thing, by the way. Instead, you want to straighten your back, make eye contact, firm handshake, and communicate. Sandwiches are good for everyone, but they're especially crucial to your medic. Don't take the medkits like an asshole, save those for him. He can heal you, but only your sandwich can heal him if there's nothing around to help out. And medic picks are obviously the most important picks. Remember, it's your duty to protect your medic and treat him like a god, using your body as a meat shield while he returns the favor by protecting you from spies. All in all, fat scouts are selfish. Don't be a fat scout. Out of all the classes with a shotgun, Heavy's shotgun is the least impactful in relation to his tactics. It takes too long to stop revving your minigun and pull it out. If you run out of primary ammo, that's your own fault. It's like pyros who use the sharpened volcano fragment. You shouldn't use either of these weapons. In fact, you shouldn't play pyro at all. That said, there's only so much a medic can do for you. Even if he doesn't get killed first, there are certain situations you just can't win. You have to learn how to be a strong, independent heavy who don't need no mercy. When you see a sniper, what do? That's right, crouch dodging. It may sound crazy, and it doesn't always work, but when it does, you get to kick that guy's smug ass back to Australia. New Zealand. Fuck that. The Netflix adaptation isn't canon. You can see an example here. I've seen others do it, and I do it all the time, but I don't have any other footage of it, so this is all you get. It works for pretty much every gun, except for an automatic, I guess, but it's mostly useful for dodging headshots. TF2's hitboxes are a fucky thing, but it'll save your life once in a blue moon. That said, keep an eye out for sniper sightlines.
You'll have to move fast if you're gonna outrun my pistol.
Oh, come on.
You ain't making it across, I don't care if you have the gloves of running urgently. Wait for teammates to come along so you can move as a pack, or find an alternate route. This right here is the best way to get yourself killed. Being a heavy is like being blind. Not in the sense that you don't need strategy to play him, but in that you get VIP treatment. Competent soldiers should prioritize you over others with a disciplinary action. And if they don't, take comfort in the fact that they will die someday. Furthermore, you deserve the teleporter more than anyone else since you move at half the speed of smell. If the teleporter isn't level 3, take 2 seconds to upgrade it. It'll still be faster than hoofing it to the fight by yourself. Now, I previously mentioned spy checking earlier, so I'm going to elaborate on that next. Every class needs to spy check, including you.
Me.
Yes, you. When you see someone running up behind you, fucking shoot him. It won't do anything if you're wrong, but if you're right, you just potentially prevented a team wipe. While I agree that Spy doesn't serve much of a purpose in the game at this point, when he manages to get a wombo combo, he is the most dangerous man on the planet. Now yes, I said it's the medic's job to watch out for spies, but sometimes you have to return the favor. Sometimes it's a spy running towards you. Always be suspicious of everyone. If you see weird behavior, or the outline of someone in an odd location, call them out on the mic. But don't just say, spy, 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 spy! You gotta be more specific than that. Demo spy, left tower, is a good call-out. Similarly, don't say, spy is me, because no one's paying attention enough to know what class you are. You are not that special. If a medic deems you worthy enough and decides to Uber you, you rush in and deal as much damage as physically possible, no matter what metagun he's using. Unless it's Kritzkrieg and you're running into a sentry nest, I guess? Too often do I see teammates act passively or even retreat from a fight when I Uber them. When playing heavy, you need to get in there and slap their shit. Focus on sentries and teleporters if there are any. If your medic has Uber, hold off on eating a sandwich. You will need that later. You might feel invincible when playing heavy, but you're not. Oftentimes I see a heavy overextend into enemy territory and get slaughtered by several people who just respawned. Remember that your place is at the middle of the map where the action is. Leave the ambushes to scout and spy. Bad scouts don't count. I've gone over a few weapons already, but here's some more to keep in mind. The Tomislav sucks. Stock is beautiful. The Hong Kong Long Gong sucks and doesn't deter spies at all. Neither does the Razorback. I can just shoot you. Natasha is only really useful against scouts. I don't know. And the Brass Beast, well, that one's a bit more complicated. It's terrible for making a push with, but it's great for holding objectives. It's the most useful in the intel room, or on the cart, or on King of the Hill. You know what it's also good for? MVM. The Brass Beast is the only minigun with a damage buff, making it superior to the other primaries mid to late game. Now, I've already denounced Fat Scouts, so forget the shotguns. The Dolichos isn't bad, but it's not really my playstyle. Basically, it's good for clearing out sentries or other dangerous rooms if you don't have an Uber. It doesn't really act like a healing item though. The banana is alright, certainly a welcome addition, but I don't really see the point in it. Use it if you want, but it's just a sandwich that heals you less but regens faster. The steak is okay in medieval mode, but otherwise doesn't do much. Heavy's punches do a fair amount of damage already, and a slight increase to that isn't worth a double-edged sword mechanic. The KGB is really cool, but they're sorta outclassed by the demo man. What I mean is, you get 5 seconds of crits when you get a kill with them, and if you keep the chain going, you can wipe out the entire enemy team, or at least a good portion of it. But you can have the same effect by spawn camping as a demo, or even getting a lucky pill. It's not a bad weapon, I just think it's too niche to ever come in handy. The gloves of running urgently used to be great, and by that I mean completely fucking broken. He used to be able to outrun scouts, but now it's just a slightly faster way of getting to the front lines. Honestly, I think this weapon's pointless, just take a teleporter instead. The warrior spirit is in the same boat as the stake. Good in medieval mode, useless anywhere else. The Fist of Steel are a great utility item that I don't often see people use. It's great for getting out of a fight, or for being a bullet sponge distraction for your team. I don't personally use it, but you're a team player if you do, and I love you. Well, that about wraps things up. There's always something new to learn, weapons are always changing. I hope this sheds some light on how to play the Big Russian Man. And don't forget, pyros are bullshit.